Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in this video I will talk about how to hit the threshold more regularly. I will go through some players I think is perfect examples of some strategies I will go through, and also go in depth about some tips and tricks that could make you a better Cap 240 threshold hitter. And yeah, I'm also filming this video in a different place, just checking out the quality and also checking out the sound. So leave it in the comments if it sounds better now or the quality is better. So yeah, let's jump right off. And for me, I think having a goalkeeper with low L15, because you want, for me especially, I really like having those defenders with high L15s that can consistently smash 60 pluses, and those you can captain consistently. The same is with midfield. I really like a midfielder with an L15 of 45 or something, and that you can consistently rely on them hitting 50 pluses or 45 pluses. And the forward should also be a player with low L15 in my opinion, that can hit you those decisives here and there. But I think a Cap 240 team, you shouldn't need any decisives to hit the threshold. And I will go through some examples now. In terms of a goalkeeper option, I have DiMarcos up on the screen right here, as you can see. Let me just show you why he's a great option. 54 in L15, so we have a pretty high L15. But in terms of his scores, he has those high peaks. He can hit you those 100 pretty easily. And he is an attacking right back. And he gets a lot of decisives, and I just in general think he's very good. Another example I need to show you really quick is Abdelhamid here. He is also a more AA beast in my opinion. He is currently traveling with the Morocco squad, so now is a perfect time to pick him up because his price are at the low. He also got benched, I think, in his last 2 games, but to be honest, he is such a good player and an important player. And one of those games I also think were because of he traveling to the AFCON, and they wanted to try out a new centre-back duo. In terms of the goalkeeper, a low L15. Plus side, I think he has a pretty high L15, yeah, but plus side is an example. Another example could be Sander Clark. I really like him, but once again, these are players that have a pretty high L15s, and you don't want that. So if I were you, go to Scout, go to Player and Card Finder, search on goalkeepers, search on starters. I can just show you very fast. Players, goalkeepers, I don't have premium on Sorare data. I'm going to be fixing that soon. But go filter by playing status, take on starter, and then you can go down here and go to L15. Take the L15 to under 45, and then you find your goalkeeper. I don't have any examples in the top of my head. I mean. But Rønnev is a perfect example. Yeah, Rønnev is a perfect player. He has those high peaks. But yeah, we can see here back-to-back high peaks. I think this is an incredible option for you. And yeah, I would really recommend Rønnev actually as a Cap 240 goalkeeper. And moving on, yeah, I also have some other examples in defense. Yuri Bershishe, another Athletic Club defender. I really like the defenders from the French League 2 or the La Liga 1 or La Liga 2. And in terms of his price, he is on the expensive side, but just looking at his scores, he's an incredible SO5 scorer. And he has a pretty high L15, but an example of a player that I also think is very good is Lucas Ahiado. Only 46 in the L15. But looking at his scores, yeah, he is in general just a very good scorer, but unfortunately he hasn't been doing too great recently because of injuries this season. But I think he's back, and yeah, looking at the last score, very good considering he conceded a goal. But this is a player you can have as your extra player. I wouldn't have captained Lucas Ahiado unless they have a very, very good fixture. Yeah, and moving on, we have Diogo Dalot, another player I really like because he has those high peaks. You can captain him, and if he smashes it, you only need like 35 pointers from the rest of the team to hit the threshold. And I really like players like Diogo Dalot because you never know, they can just carry you entirely 1 week. And yeah, I really like Diogo Dalot on this list. Mohamed Yusuf is another player I really like. You can buy his defender card or midfielder card. He's playing at the French League 2. I have mentioned him like for many months ago that he is going to be a hidden gem in the French League 2 when Agiaco goes down, and he has been when conceding 3 goals he gets a 51 in AA. He's just incredible, getting those high peak scores here and there as well. So yeah, in terms of, now we have talked a little about goalkeepers and defenders, and also talking about a general strategy. It is possible to buy a whole team collection, and teams I think could be very interesting to buy is Frankfurt or Union Berlin. There is 2 teams, or for example Hearts, where Sander Clark is in goal. And you can spend most of your budget on those entire teams and use them in Cap 240. And for example, if you have a little bit knowledge in the team, you have the starter goalkeeper, you have 3 very good players in each position, and the extra player is the L15 you have remaining in the team. So the best low L15 players you have left you can use in the extra spot. That is my suggestion for you guys, and I think that is also a very interesting strategy. But in terms of moving up the field, midfielders could be Mangani. He has a high L15, but just look at this consistency from him, I mean. Some of these scores are just fantastic, and he is so consistent, so he won't let you down. So if you have a defender that is a smasher, that can hit those high peaks, you can always rely on Mangani just hitting a 50-pointer or 60-pointer to just get you over that threshold without even trying. And yeah, like, and in many of these games, Ajaku gets battered, but he still gets those very good scores, and I really like him. And also for the price, every player I have shown now has been on the budget, so you don't need to worry about that. And moving to another midfielder, Easy Palazon. He has a contract in Rajo Vallecano until 2028. And he has been on a very bad form recently. But this is an example of a forward card. I really like him as a forward player. I think if we go to forward here, yeah, his scores look way better when we take it to a forward. So if I were you, I would go personally for the forward card. He has he has 615 forward cards and 878 midfielder cards. So if you can find a forward card, I would recommend you to pick him up, because he has a low L15. He's an incredible player. He's a very important player for Rajo Vallecano. And like, you can get so many good players in the Cap 240 lineup, and he doesn't take the L15 so much up. So I really like him, and you can also use him in midfield and go all in on the defenders, having 2 very high L15 defenders. That is also another option. And moving on to the forward spot, I really like the forward is a low L15. Sukol Sikaleshi were a perfect player at the start of the season. I want to just show you that. I recommended Sukol Sikaleshi here right before the season kicked off, because he had the break in the Saudi League. He did magnificent. And then I think I said it very many times, that he will be a very good Cap 240 player. He had the L15 of like, I think it was 30 or something. So I had a 3 or 4 man, 3-man Leicester lineup with David Marshall, I think, or something. And then I had Sukol Sikaleshi. And for example, the Leicester boys, I had Vestergaard, Wout Faas and Dusbjörn. They just smashed it, and I got a threshold every single week for like 4 or 5 weeks. So that was incredible. Shout out to Sukol Sikaleshi. I don't know what the situation is with him, but you need to do your own research on these players. But this is just another example of a very good Cap 240 forward. The next one is Takuma Asano. He is another player with a low L15. I really like him because it's the same with Easy Palazon. He hasn't been in the best of forms recently, but like, he plays in an attacking role. It's just a question of time when he will get those decisives. And if he gets a decisive, you don't need much more from the rest of the team, because he has a low L15. So if he scores, he will beat his L15 with over 20 points. And then the chances, you only need... You can even hit the threshold if every single other player in that team underperforms. And that is something I really like with this shout right here. And also, we are in the middle of the video now, and I want to just tell you guys that I'm currently having a big announcement. I'm just going to put it that way, a big announcement tomorrow, I think. The Monday video, it will be huge. I hope you get in there and watch, because it will be something incredible. And also, I think, if you haven't already, go over on Twitter, because I'm hosting a giveaway, Lisandro Martinez giveaway. So the only thing you need to do is beat me on Sorare Rivals and watch the rewards video for this week, and I will explain everything. But back to the video. Takuma Osano, another player that I really like. Another player that is also very interesting is Pierre-Yves Hamel, I mean. He's a player that you can rely on more consistently. He has also some bench appearances that makes his L15 go very much down, which is nice. And yeah, I don't know what the case was last game against Annecy. He didn't play. I don't know what that was, but just keep in mind that he's also a shout out for you guys that needs a forward. He has a little higher L15 than the other guys, but like the really most important thing for me is to probably go for a low L15 in the goal. And of course it depends on your strategy, and if you have some players like, for example, Van de Beek, Donny Van de Beek, which have a low L15 and he plays regularly for Frankfurt. Like, this is an example that you don't... and this is also a tip, if you have players like this, Donny Van de Beek, you can play him in your Cap 240 side and have a very strong other four players performing very like, they don't need to perform well, because they L15 will be so good that they just don't that they just need to have a regular game. And Donny Van de Beek will almost every single time beat his L15, because at Manchester United he played nothing, and at the start now he got a 32-pointer against Leipzig, which is a tough opponent. I don't think he will hit that ever again in the rest of his Bayern München not Bayern München, but Bundesliga career. So this is just an example of a player if you have in your gallery, and that is also if you have a squad depth about, especially if you collect one single team, you can have those hidden gems that when, for example, the main man in midfield gets an injury, you have the backup, and then you can build a very strong team around him. I hope that makes sense, and yeah, I hope this video helped a little bit. Of course, it depends on where you are and which budget you're on, which scarcity you're going for, but I hope this video helped more in general. And if you want, I could make a specific video about which type of scarcity, but I think it covered it pretty well. Leave in the comments what you think, and yeah, I will see you next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.